Hey, my name is Arasto. I work as a teacher and a full stack developer here in Gothenburg, Sweden. And in this course, I'm going to walk you through JavaScript. So, JavaScript is one of the few languages that does compile into the browser. So, we're going to do a lot of programming in the browser. And before we start doing so, I'd like you to navigate yourself onto code.visualstudio.com/downloads. So before we go into this tutorial, you're gonna have to need a IDE. You're gonna need to download a IDE to program in, and this is where we're gonna write our code, which later on will get compiled into the browser. So please go ahead and navigate yourself to code.visualstudio.com/downloads. I'm gonna have the downloading URL in the description. So please pause this video for a moment, download the IDE, and continue once you've got this installed up and running. So it should be looking as the window to my left here, my Visual Studio to the left. So without any further ado, allow us to dig into JavaScript. So before we're going to do anything, the first thing you're going to want to do is to create a empty directory, which we're going to place our first project. So anywhere on your computer, just create an empty directory. And then when you've done so, you're going to navigate yourself to File, Open Folder, and then you're gonna have to need to navigate yourself to that browser. To the directory you just created. So in my case, I created a directory by the name JavaScript on my desktop. So this is where I'm gonna do all the videos for this specific project. So once we open it, we got an empty folder here. So we're gonna start off by creating our first file. So by clicking this icon here, which says new file, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to name this first file index. Whoa, not in caps lock though. Index.html. Okay. So this is a JavaScript course, I know, but for us to be able to compile this onto the browser, it's going to have to go through a HTML file. So we're going to have to do some configuration here before we move on into doing any JavaScript. So the first thing I want you to do is to create a HTML tag like this, which includes a header tag and a body tag. So this is what we're gonna need. And so we're just creating a simple website here. And we're gonna have our JavaScript being run through this HTML file in a moment. So in our body, we could just create a simple tag saying let's say header1, so h1, and inside this h1 tag, we can say welcome to let's name it let's learn JavaScript. And I can save this file by pressing Ctrl S. And for us to compile this file into the browser, we're going to have to navigate ourselves onto extensions. And inside the extensions, inside here, we can install extensions that our IDE is going to use. So here I want to search for something called Live Server. So this Live Server extension is going to deploy our HTML website onto the browser, which is going to be run locally, and we're going to and every time we save our project, it's going to recompile the browser and reload, and we can instantaneously see our changes. So what I want you to do is I want you to press install here, and once it's installed, you can exit here, navigate yourself back to the index.html file, and in this dead space you can right click and go open with Live Server. And once you press that, it should be opening your browser and navigating it to this server with port 5500. So here we can see our Let's Learn JavaScript tag, which we typed in here. So that's almost all the configuration done. So what we're gonna have to do next is we're gonna have to create our first JavaScript file. So if we navigate ourselves back to new file, in this case I want to create a new index file. So index dot, and instead of HTML I'm gonna name this one JS for JavaScript. So here we are gonna write all our JavaScript. And this is where we're gonna be programming together if you're gonna follow along. So the first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna use a alert function. So alert, and inside this alert we're gonna say welcome to this JavaScript tutorial. And I'm gonna save this file by pressing Ctrl S, navigate myself back to my index file, and in between my headers we're gonna need a script tag. So it's gonna look something like this. And inside the script tag we do have a src attribute, and this attribute is gonna point to our index.js file. So what we're doing here is we're importing our file so we can run the JavaScript file through the HTML file. So by typing dot slash, I'm telling that the file is located in the same folder as the HTML file, which we're standing in right now. And I'm gonna import index.js. If I now save my file here, live server is gonna reload. And this says, welcome to this JavaScript tutorial. And we're officially running our first JavaScript function onto the browser.